Welcome to the debrief for the ITM New Zealand Sail Grand Prix. There was no action yesterday, but we certainly made up for it today. A huge congratulations for New Zealand for stealing the win in front of home fans. It was incredible to watch. I'm going to dive along the tech site, see if I can chat to some of the sailors about the results and also about all the carnage. Oh, congratulations, Andy. You guys just snuck into the final and then you did what you needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty hectic first three fleet races. Happy to just get into that final and then put on a good show in that last race. So sailed a good last one.
I was sitting right next to the crowd, and every time you overtook a boat in that race number 3, they just went wild. Could you hear them?
Yeah, every time we came past that foreshore, we could hear the grandstands going wild. And yeah, I mean, we had one lap in that third race to get past one of those 3 boats that was ahead of us, and we knew that if we just stuck to our processes and sailed the boat well, that we could chip away. So glad that it worked out that way and we got in that final for the fans.
You guys were pushing super hard around the racetrack. As a flight controller, do you get to see much, or are you full head down?
No, exactly, full head down. Didn't see much today, didn't see much of the carnage that I could hear going on in the comms around me, so look forward to watching that racing back probably tomorrow.
And talk us through that champagne moment on shore with the crowd. That would have been pretty epic with that national anthem playing.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than that. I mean, racing in front of friends and family and then coming in ashore and seeing all the fans there, it's just epic and couldn't ask for a better place to sort of win.
Well, enjoy the celebrations at home.
Thank you very much.
The French team, they were back on form this weekend. They didn't get the win, but they did get second place. I think they're pretty happy with that. I just spotted their driver, Quentin Delapierre. Let's go have a chat. Well, Quentin, back in the final, second, almost stole the win.
Yeah, exactly. Not far from that. Yeah, it's not enough to finish second, and looking for the win in the next few Grand Prix.
And when you make the final and come second, do you think it makes you hungrier, or you've always been hungry for that win?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was. We were super happy on board because we are looking for this final for a while this season, but it's always painful to finish second and miss the win.
It looked like you really enjoy those conditions. A little bit top end with those big boards and 24-meter wing.
Yeah. I think. I mean, historically, this team is a bit better when it's windy, and yeah, our feeling is really, really good on this boat when it's quite rough. So yeah, today was good fun.
So everyone should watch out for the French team. You guys are coming for them.
I don't know if everyone have to watch us, but I think the Kiwis are a bit more confident, and I mean, the French team for sure is fully focused on what we are doing and try to improve.
Well, thanks for chatting. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Lisa.
Well, I have spotted the Canadian driver walking down the tech site. I'm going to grab him in just a moment, but check out this damage. It was bumper cars out there, and here is just one example of the damage. But let's go grab Phil and have a chat about how he sees third place. Phil, that was an exciting day to go racing.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was pretty carnage, plenty of carnage, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. Probably the best conditions I think we've had in SailGP to date and the best racing, but yeah, a lot of crashes.
We know you wanted to go back to back, but will you take third?
Look, it's nice to make the final. It's definitely on a day like today where you've got 3 races to stamp your mark and try and have a crack at that final 3 spots, and then the final, the mentality's going for the win. We're not really here to come second, so yeah, we went for the win. We almost got the start we wanted, just slipped up, and then went for it again at the bottom mark, and yeah, didn't pay off.
Well, you've had your fair share of penalty points, and they're getting dished out quite rapidly this weekend. Is it still all to play for then?
It's certainly all to play for. I think someone's season can go from hero to zero pretty quickly. So yeah, a lot of points lost by the teams in front of us, which is kind of nice, but yeah, we don't really want these boats coming together, and our thing looks like a war horse right now, so it's not ideal.
Well, it's going to be a big turnaround for the tech team, and we'll see you soon in Bermuda. Thanks for chatting.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks,
Ciao.
Phil. Well, if you ever wondered what the inside of an F50 is like, this is it. Pretty incredible after race number 1, and big significant damage that they were able to finish every race. But speaking to Nikolai in the next zone, he said every point's going to count when we come to San Francisco. So they were pushing hard. They're really disappointed about this. They're going to get some pretty significant penalty points for the season, but yeah, can't believe they made it around the racetrack. Well, Nikolai, I know we caught up earlier, but it's probably sunk in a little bit now. The damage is pretty extensive, but you got around the racetrack.
Yeah, obviously that's actually means more than we thought at the time. We knew we had to get around the racetrack in terms of 1 point with Australia, but also, yeah, it actually matters a lot that we got around the racetrack.
Penalty points, I mean, they're dishing them out quite often these days. Is the season, is it still up to play for?
Well, I think it's our first collision, our first point, so it obviously hurt a lot. But no, it's not over yet. We keep fighting. We'll be back in Bermuda, and we'll try and chase them down. We're obviously not defending anymore. We've got to be in an attack mode and try to hunt them down. But yeah, it's going to hurt for a few days for sure. It was we lost more points. We shouldn't even have come here. We would have been better off than we are right now. So, but you know, we'll be back in Bermuda, and we just got to chase them down.
Well, you seem like a pretty resilient team, so I think you got it covered.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We just need to regroup and move on. And we normally don't do these things, as I said, the first time. So we just got to, put it behind us and make sure we make better points in Bermuda.
Thanks, Nikolai. It was a super eventful day out there. There were lots of collisions going on. One very significant one was Australia taking out the finish mark, trying to avoid a collision with Canada. I know that they're quite shook about it, but we've spotted the athletes. We're going to head in and find out what the damage is and how they're feeling. I mean, Carl, that's not the way you wanted to start or finish here. Pretty dramatic scenes out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. We had such a good warm-up and then, made it off the start line in okay shape in the middle of the pack, and then it obviously had an incident with the Canadians and the mark, the finish mark, and I mean, it's just an unfortunate situation, and we're just really thankful that no one's hurt.
I mean, penalty points, they're pretty harsh. What's the mood of the team on that one?
I think the main thing is that nobody's hurt. The last thing that we all saw was Annie on the Canadian team, with our bow pointing at her, and, had a split-second decision to make whether to, hit her or hit the mark, and, I think Tom handled the situation perfectly, and the instincts kicked in and put the bow down, avoided her, and we didn't hurt anyone. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And yeah, it sucks with the penalty points, and we don't necessarily agree with it, but it is what it is, and we've just got to keep fighting for the rest of the year.
And the damage is pretty extensive. As we've seen, the tech team has been in here running around measuring everything up. What are your initial thoughts on the repair?
The front beam behind us here is a complete write-off. They're obviously still checking out the damage and seeing the extent of it, but it seems like with the front beam, they may be able to fix it. There is a spare one floating around, but I believe that's in the UK. But the issue is just the shipping time from here to Bermuda. How do you do a repair? How do you fit a new beam to the boat? And so there's still a lot of unanswered questions, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, thanks for chatting to us, and we wish you guys luck for Bermuda.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully we'll be there.
Well, you'd think I would have got my predictions right by now. I think I said Australia, France and New Zealand. Australia obviously ruined that for me. But no, in all seriousness, congratulations to France for sneaking into that final and New Zealand for taking home the win on home waters. Let's take a look how the overall season championship is shaping up. Well, the season championship has been mixed up this weekend. New Zealand, they finally take the lead. They are on 68 points. Australia have moved to second. Spain is close behind on 55. France is knocking at the door, just 1 point behind in fourth. We've got Rockall, Denmark. They plummeted down to fifth. United States are in sixth. Canada are in seventh. Emirates GBR sit in eighth. And Germany and Switzerland rounded out in ninth and 10th. Well, that wraps up the debrief. Thank you for following along all weekend. I cannot wait to see you soon for the Apex Group Bermuda Sail Grand Prix.